If you see the symbol, pause, take any notes you need to, go back, and then, sorry, that was make no sense, but you should already know this. Pause if you need to pause. If you don't need to pause, go on to the next part. Objective. The student will measure different objects. Student will be able to measure different objects. This will be done through presentation and measurement activity. So the measurement activity changed because this is actually one where I give you guys a whole bunch of rulers and you guys have to show me if you know what you're doing because you have to be able to measure it. So we're actually going to be walking outside into the courtyard and measuring different things, and we're actually going to be in the classroom measuring different things. This is a fun one. You get to go out and walk around, but measurement. What is measurement? Measurement is actually fractions, if you didn't know. It's fractions of an inch, fractions of a yard, fractions of a mile, fractions or whatever, but it is fractions. So in a second, we're going to find out that this is on the edge of a ruler. So let's say this is a ruler. We have 1 inch and we have 2 inches. So you guys are pretty good at measuring to the nearest inch. This isn't too bad. You put a ruler, if it's at 1, it's at 1. But what happens if it's in between? We're actually going to break that in half. That 1 inch can be broken into half. It can also be broken into fourths. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So 1/4 would be the first one. 2/4 would be the second one. 3/4 would be the third one. And then 1 inch. So in a second, we're going to find out this can be broken into eighths. Also, eighths of an inch. But also, 2/4 equals 1/2. So that's why the center of the ruler is 1/2. So we're going to go on in a second. That's just reduction. So we have eighths. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. So all of those little eighths, that's an eighth of an inch. So we have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. So 1/8 we know is correct. For example, the second one, we know that that's 1/4 because 1/4 equals 2/8, then 3/8, and then 1/2 would equal 4/8, and 5/8, and 6/8 would be 3/4, and 7/8 by itself. So that's all the way across. This is as far as I want you to go down. You can actually go to 16ths, 30 seconds, 64ths, but this is an example. If you need to pause and write this down, pause and write that down. Because in a second, we're going to start measuring stuff. So we have this ticket that emits 1. I don't know. It's a carnival or something. Well, where is it? So if we count, this is in the eighths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/8 or 3/4 would be your answer. So, because 6/8 is reduced to 3/4 because we counted the little eighths. So that's why our answer right there is 3/4. So if again you need to pause it to get those measurements, you can pause and get this measurement. What happens when we have this big ace, this big playing card? So let's measure this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have it 4/8. So 4/8 we know is equal to 1/2. But actually our answer is going to be 1 and 1/2 because we still have that 1 full inch because we went up to the 1 inch mark and we had a half. So we're going to write it. It's going to be 1 and 1/2 is going to be how big that playing card is. So in a second, I think I give you a coin as an object. But we have 1 and 1/2 for that one. So sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just talking about rough measurements over here. If you notice it's a tiny bit over, like when you're measuring yours in class tomorrow, it might not be perfect. It might be a little bit larger. Just go to the closer number. Like that one's clearly 5/8. So if you didn't make sense or if you need to go back and get what all those measurements are, because it'll help you out in class tomorrow, go back and take those notes at least. So there's that part. So next, all I want you to do is I'm going to stop talking for a minute, write down what the measurement of that line is, and write down what the measurement of that circle is. Okay, so first we have 1 and 1/2 is the answer to the top one. Remember, it went past the 1, so we have to include that whole number plus the 1/2 an inch. The bottom one is 3/4 an inch. Remember, it's about, it might be a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, but it's about what that is. Next one right over here, we have our points. Just tell me where the arrow is pointing. So that little line, where is it pointing to? I'm going to be quiet for a minute so you guys can do your work. Pause the video. When you're done, unpause it so you can go on with it and find the answers. So pause, unpause when you're done. Okay, so hopefully you guys got all those right. So if you didn't, you're going to be working on a class tomorrow. We're going to do our little regular activity, or not a regular activity, where we're going to have some fun. I'm going to get you up and walking. I can help you guys tomorrow if this isn't making sense, but at least kind of hopefully you got a few of those right. So this has been a short video. To recap, you guys should know how to measure. Measurements are fractions. So at least they can be fractions. They're not always fractions, but they're fractions of an inch. So 1 1/2 an inch, or 1/2 an inch, or 3/4, or 1/8. So you should have pretty much got that part. If you didn't, tomorrow we're going to be doing an activity so I can help you guys. So hopefully you guys got this. If you didn't, again, you guys know I'm not that big and angry teacher. I'll help you guys in class tomorrow if you need the help. So when we're done with the recap in a second, it's going to go back over our objective. It's going to be talking about measurements. So where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There it is. The student will be able to measure different objects. This will be done through a presentation and classroom activity. So hopefully you guys had fun with this, and we'll see you in class tomorrow.